Hello everyone, welcome to Audio-reactive tutorials. Today we have an motion graphics tutorial in our series, and I will show you how to create a retro outline glitch logo animation in Adobe After Effects without using any third-party plugins. So create your composition and let's get started. So after creating your composition, make sure to add a logo to work with. As you see here, I have this comp and the logo inside and a few sound effects that we're going to use in this tutorial. So around 4 seconds, I'm going to trim this comp, and around 20, I'm going to trim this as well. And I'm going to apply mosaic effect here. And as you see, it's add this pixelated look. So I'm going to put these to sharp colors, and as you see here, if we change the values, it changed how this looks. So I'm going to add expression to this wiggle 10,5. Let's copy these and then add it to vertical blocks as well. Just change these to random values, and so we're going to get something like this. And I'm going to add a new solid, and let's rename these fractal mask and hit OK, and then apply fractal noise. And I'm going to choose here blocks, and I'll transform. Let's change here these to random values and complexity to 1. So we got something like this, and then we want to get some nice contrast look here. And on evolution, I'm going to add times 500. So just this is going to animate in randomly here. And then I'm going to trim these to the same length for this comp here, just the one below it. And then choose cell with Luma here. So basically we're like tracking map this one or anything underneath it. So maybe now we can change here a little bit of the values if needed. Maybe something like this. Okay, that's fine. So let's pre-compose this and then rename this logo glitch and hit OK. And of course, move all attributes with that. And so now I'm going to apply these effects. And there's few tutorials using these effects, and if you want to know more about it, make sure to check those tutorials. And so now let's choose here on blend mode transparent, so we get just this stroke here, and segments we're going to put that to 1. And as you see, we got something like this. And so at 0, we're going to length and 0 that out, and add keyframe to rotation, midpoint opacity, and end opacity as well. And at 4, we're going to put these to 1 and the rotation to 180 or any rotation you want to use. So basically we're going to get something like this animating here. And as you see, we got a problem here that it doesn't look like one seamless contour on here. So to fix that, we need to go to image contour, and on threshold we're going to put this to 1, and it should fix this for us. And here we have tolerance. If we want to get these kind of like a poly look, we can just crank up that to the maximum or any value you want. So I'm going to put this to 0 to get a smooth looking trace. And maybe here I'm going to put star opacity to just maybe around 100, 0.100. So we got something like this now. And then let's actually change the color here to something like bright blue, something like this. And now we have another problem here. We don't get the trace for the inside logo. We don't get these buttons here. So to fix that, I'm going to show you 2 ways to fix it. So let's reveal this logo comp and then Control D to duplicate it and open it, and then we're going to do the same thing, reveal these, Control D, and then I'm going to replace these right here, and then let's open these, and here I'm going to use K-lights, and then just K-light this, so we all left with the inside. You can leave these or decompose the logo as you want, depending on logo you have. So on projects here, I'm going to first duplicate this one and then hold Alt to replace these. So here we got the second one together. So we have the same animation applied to it. And the second way to fix this, let's basically duplicate this one and solo it to see what's going on here. So here we have channels, and if we choose here hue and then put this threshold to the maximum, we should get these fixed for us. So this may not work with any logo, so it depends, but the first method is the way to go to decompose your logo and work with it. So I'm going to remove this, and so now we need actual to stylize this to make it look very good here. So I'm going to create adjustment layer, and let's rename this displacement map, and I'm going to apply displacement map here. And of course this displacement map, it need a displacement map. So here I have already one created here, and let's preview how this looks like. Okay, it looked like a retro TV glitches here. So let's create a new solid and then apply fractal noise here. And I'm going to choose turbulence smooth and transform. We're going to anti uniform scaling, and the width going to be 1300 and height to 6. We're going to get something like this. Let's put the contrast to 300, and here we have brightness. Let's lower that, so we'll get something like this. So basically we got what we want, and we're going to animate brightness, and on SAP settings here we have SAP influence. So as well here it add like some details there. So at the beginning we want everything to be just black, and at 2 seconds let's basically get something like that. Maybe this is going to be 80, and this is too bright, just something like this. And at the end we want that to get back to 0 and lower the influence as well. And of course it's going to fade out quickly, so we need to add another keyframe here. We don't want that to go back black yet, so just there, maybe more influence. So we're going to get something like this basically. And then I'm going to animate offset turbulence. So at 0 here, let's add a keyframe. At the end, we're going to move that. So we just get that animation of the lines going down just like that. And we can add evolution as well. So from 0 to 2. So just getting a nice variations there. And maybe here we don't want it to get yet too dark, just something like this, just nice variations here. And then here let's put this below, and here I have these lines here. So basically just to blend that with the fractal, just using a solid layer and animating the position and scale. So basically it's going from 0 on the Y to 0.5 and hold for a while and then back to 0, and just animate it just right there, and duplicating few more lines, and then stagger that to get just something like this variation for long lines here. So with the other fractal noise it looked like that. So let's get back to the original one, and then let's actually add these map to our main comp here, and then I'm going to assign it to displacement map. So let's choose here luminance for both channels, and maximum horizontal displacement is going to be 25 or any value you want. So we got something like this. Let's preview to see what we got here. Okay, that's look fine. And so we need to stylize this to give it a nice looking effect here. So I'm going to add a new adjustment layer. Let's add here glow. And then I'm going to apply glow effect here. And let's duplicate this glow. And let's put here 80/70. Things will look very weird for this glow, but we're going to fix it later. And then duplicate it one more time here. And let's change this to A and B colors. And actually, let's copy this color here and add it on here. So for both, and this is going to be a little bit bright. Let's put here 500 and 50% and 3 on the intensity. Things will look too bright, something crazy like that. And for now, we're going to just leave everything as it is. And as you see, this glow needs to be just below the displacement map. And here I have this lens flare. I'm going to add it as well here. And you will see we got problem for this lens flare. We need to fix it. So on displacement map, I'm going to use motion tile and put it just right here. And then mirror edges, and let's mirror this, and let's actually colorize this. Let's add CC tuner here, and let's choose this color and just paste it right here on the lens. And so until now, things look very weird here. We have these glow effects look like this. So I'm going to add a new adjustment layer here. And let's rename these two lines and add Venetian blinds here. And so on transition, going to put this to 40 and then change this direction to 90 here. So we got something like lines here. Going to put width to 6 and feathering to 2. So we got something like this. And so also this is affected by displacement map, so we can put that on top or actually below the displacement. So we want it to be below displacement map. You can tell it helps to reduce the glow intensity a little bit, and we still have things to make here. So this glow, I need to fix it. So first, let's basically duplicate these few times for both, maybe 4 times for each one. And then here, I'm going to adjust this a little bit. So maybe this is going to be 0.5. Okay, so let's leave it just like that for now. And I'm going to add a new adjustment layer. I'm going to call this chromatic aberration and add an emboss effect here. And here you can see what we got. So on relief, I'm going to put there 10 and blending that 50%. So we got something like this. I'm going to add colorama here. And I'm going to choose here RGB and modify. We need to untick this modify alpha so it doesn't affect the alpha channel. And then I'm going to apply hue and saturation. So just to get a nice chromatic color there, something like this. And then I'm going to apply fast box blur. So just to blur this, we just need to put 0.1, just a little bit there. And then I'm going to add CC composite here. And so basically it's going to compose it with the original on the front. So we got something like this, and I want that to be on linear lights. And then for the layer, I will change that to add. So then we're going to get something like this, as you see, and then I'm going to add optics compensation here and put it before these CC composite. And then let's put there maybe 50 and reverse lens distortion there. So we'll go a nice distortion there, and add in transform and put there just 101, just a little bit. And I'm going to add CC radial blur as well. And here I'm going to choose type 2 centered zoom and amount just 5. So it's going to give us slightly nice effects, and this 2 needs to be before the CC composite. And as you see, we got something like this. So now we need to reduce the glow intensity a little bit, and let's preview to see how this looks like. So as you see, this looks pretty cool here, and we can do a few adjustments to the glow. And now I'm going to give you quick tips to show you how you can adjust this to get a different looks if you want to. So here we have blend with original. That's going to affect the look. So as you see here, 0 and 100, the totally looks different here. And so that's why I'm going to put that to 50%. And here we have these two, right? So here we have composite over layer. If we intake that, this is not going to be too bright. So here we got kind of like a retro look in here. And also here we have blending mode, so you can blend that. So you have few options. You can do the two both together. So blending and composing over layer. So just depend on how you want this to look. And also here I'm going to add a new adjustment layer, and this is going to be, let's rename this to color correction, and I'm going to add a hue and saturation here. So now we can change the color if we want, and add noise effects as well, and just put in 5%. It's going to get things blend nicely here. Let's leave it at the color we want. And here we have clip result value. It's going to get off that brightness as well. So as you see here, we kind of get like a retro look here. And so another tip here is basically adding a second displacement. So for this sound, I'm going to convert audio to keyframes, and then I'm going to duplicate this displacement map, and I'm just going to trim this. We're just going to basically let's hit hue on the second one here for both. So here I'm going to link these max to left channel and multiply that by 5 or any value depending on how much you want that. And for the vertical one as well. So here just adding that to the right channel, and we're going to multiply that by 5. And so let's actually preview this as well. And as you see, this is how it looks like. Hope you get the idea and found this tutorial very useful for you guys. And if you have any questions, just comment and I will do my best to be responsive. And make sure to watch previous tutorials about glitch effects, transition effects, and also Vegas effects tutorials, so you can see what you can do with it. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more tutorials coming soon, and thank you for watching.